The logos of famous companies are usually the result of a great deal of thought. Ideally, a logo should be visually striking yet simple and help to communicate what the company is all about. But the logos we'll be looking at in this video are a bit more clever than most. These logos contain hidden messages that might escape your eye, but have a lot to say about the famous brands behind them. Amazon has been a trusted brand since the early days of the internet. Beginning as an online bookstore, founder Jeff Bezos grew the site into a vast online marketplace that is currently the most valuable retail operation in the United States. Nearly anything can be purchased on Amazon, and in 2000 their logo underwent a subtle redesign that helps to get this idea across. While the swooping line underneath the word Amazon can easily be seen as a smile, which is an intentional part of the design, it's also intended to look like an arrow which runs from the letter A to the letter Z, indicating that everything from A to Z can be purchased on Amazon. It's an eye-catching way to convey that Amazon's inventory contains everything under the sun, while still keeping the logo simple. Vaio is a Japanese computer manufacturer that was owned by Sony until 2014. Many of their computers in the US still carry the Sony branding, and the company has become known for high-end PCs with professional quality video and audio capabilities. Vaio was originally an acronym for Video Audio Integrated Operation, and the theme of integration is also cleverly referred to in the company's logo. The V and the A are intended to look like a sine wave or analog audio signal, while the I and the O look like a 1 and a 0, representing binary code or a digital signal. Electronics manufacturer LG has become one of the most successful brands for consumer electronics and smartphones in the world. Founded as the Lucky Chemical Industrial Corporation all the way back in 1947, the company eventually merged with its own subsidiary Goldstar to form Lucky Goldstar, formerly renamed LG in 1995 to better compete in Western markets. The logo chosen to represent the LG brand in the West resembles a very familiar Western symbol, the smiley face, which has become even more familiar since emojis have come into widespread use. Sharp-eyed observers have also noticed that with only a very slight tweaking of the logo's elements, it can also be made to resemble another familiar icon, Pac-Man, the beloved video game character. The BMW Company, or Bavarian Motor Works, is a worldwide symbol of automotive quality. But their striking logo is a callback to the roots of the company, which manufactured some of the first airplanes to be used in combat during World War I. At the end of the war, the Versailles Treaty prevented the company from continuing to produce aircraft, so they instead shifted to motorcycles, and later to cars. BMW even produced airplane engines, although no complete aircraft during World War II. Since the 1950s, the company has built its brand as one of the world's most trusted automakers, but has kept its logo as an homage to its past. It is meant to represent a white airplane propeller against the backdrop of a blue sky. The design of the NBC network's logo hasn't changed much since the mid-1980s. Its rainbow-colored array might be taken to represent a number of things, such as diversity in its programming or its roots as one of the pioneers of color television. You may have also noticed that it looks like a peacock, and the resemblance used to be much more obvious. You can find the head and body of the peacock in the negative space between the colored areas. Earlier versions of the logo, which first appeared in the 1950s, had a much more cartoon-like bird, and its tail was indeed meant to show off the rich color of NBC's broadcasts. The network was even informally referred to throughout much of the 20th century as the Peacock Network. One of the most popular candies in the world, Hershey's Kisses were first introduced in 1907 and haven't changed very much since. Although they now come in many varieties, the plain milk chocolate versions are still the best sellers, thanks to their bite-sized goodness and their distinctive flat-bottom teardrop shape. Marketing executives found a way to subliminally take advantage of our love for this shape when designing the candy's modern logo. Another clever use of negative space, the familiar kiss shape is hiding in between the K and the I. This one is easy to miss, but if seeing this logo ever gave you a sudden craving for those milk chocolate morsels, this might very well be why. Baskin-Robbins based its entire advertising campaign on its fantastic variety of flavors during the company's rise to popularity. Starting in 1945, the ice cream shops offered 31 rotating flavors, so that customers could try a different flavor every day of the month. They've introduced hundreds of flavors since then, and the idea of an ice cream shop with a lot of variety isn't as novel as it once was. But the famous 31 is still hiding in plain sight in the modern version of the Baskin-Robbins logo. While it's also easy to overlook, this one becomes very obvious once you know it's there. The pink portions of the logo, the left half of the B and the right half of the R, form the 31, a reminder that any day of the month is a good day for ice cream. In the 1970s, Federal Express was the first to open up shipping to competition. They were the first carrier to operate all of their own facilities and airlines, and today fly more cargo by weight than any airline in the world. FedEx, as they've come to be known, has developed a worldwide reputation for reliability, and their logo takes advantage of both their instant name recognition and our tendency to read things from left to right. The stylized FedEx logo contains an arrow pointing from left to right, in between the E and the X. Even if it is only picked up subliminally, our brains associate this with forward movement and continuing onward, communicating the reliable and consistent nature of the company's service. The distinctive taste and shape of the Toblerone bar has made it popular around the world. It's said that the shape of the Swiss Alps was the inspiration for the bar's shape, and a representation of a mountain can be found on each package. But this drawing also hides another tribute to the company's origins that is not so easily noticed. The candy comes from the Bern region of Switzerland, also known as City of the Bears. A hidden drawing of a bear can be found in the negative space of the company's mountain logo. While this one may be one of the more difficult to spot, it's also uniquely artistic, very fitting for a similarly unique and finely crafted candy. Based in the Netherlands and London, Unilever is a giant multinational company that owns over 400 well-known brands, including Dove, Lipton, Best Foods, and Ben & Jerry's ice cream. They are the third largest producer of consumer goods in the world and produce more spreads such as mayonnaise and margarine than any other company. Unilever's logo might at first appear to be a random collection of images, but each one is a reference to the company's manufacturing and business practices. For example, a lock of hair represents their many shampoo brands, a tea leaf was added when the company acquired Lipton, and a recycling logo refers to the company's commitment to environmentally sustainable practices. This is one logo that may continue changing and growing in the future, as Unilever itself continues to do.